I don't think it's uncommon for a Java player to look downwards on what they view as an inferior edition of the game, which is Bedrock Edition. I'm going to try my best to refrain from any bias of a typical Java player, but let's start with why does Bedrock Edition even exist? Back in the good old days, in more detail, until November 18th, 2016, when the Bedrock Edition of Minecraft was officially released. By that time, most mainstream devices and consoles had their own version of Minecraft, hence the creation of many different editions of the game. The Founding Edition, aka Java Edition, gave birth to Pocket Edition, Xbox Edition, PlayStation Edition, Switch Edition, a 3DS edition of the game, a Wii edition, and much more in between. Then an idea came along. Why do we need so many different editions of Minecraft? Can we not just code one in C++ and make all the different devices run on the same edition, and they'll be also able to play together? Situations where your friend was gaming Minecraft on their PC and you were left with the trash can of your phone are now gone. This movement is definitely going to lead to 9-year-old peace. No more wars over whose turn it is. Minecraft Bedrock is going to be the superior version and everyone is going to be equal. And that was my adaptation of what I think the pitch meeting looked like. To me, that doesn't sound too bad, since the very start of YouTube people used to clickbait on how to play Minecraft cross-platform, and that was one of the most requested features to be added into the game, but its result was far worse than I would have expected. This video is going to be divided into a few chapters. Let's start off with forced migration to Bedrock. When I was a kid, I used to love playing Minecraft on my PlayStation. The game just felt so good, quite comparable to what Java Edition was like. Of course, it had limited world generation, and the entire world was more like an island, since it was surrounded by endless water. The what are called legacy editions of the game were very well made versions of Minecraft, which I have a lot of good memories with. Upon the creation of the Bedrock Edition, it had slaughtered all of the legacy editions of the game, and it viewed itself as superior to any other version. This really made me sad. I remember I was a PC gamer at the time, and one of my friends invited me to their house to play Minecraft on their PS4. He booted up the game, and the first thing I said, is this some cheap knockoff of Minecraft? The game just felt so weird to me compared to the legacy editions of the game. To the overall graphics and the feel of the game, I couldn't believe this was the official release of my so loved game. I didn't enjoy playing it at all. It really felt as if Minecraft Bedrock was taken as a reference of some student's mobile game project. The experience was just that underwhelming. Important note, this is just my take on Bedrock Edition. You may like it, you may not like it. This is purely based on my opinion. But some other things I'm about to get to right now are more objective. Bedrock's features. When the legacy editions of the game were being made, it was put into thought that they wanted to make this game as close to the original as possible. Of course they had limitations of world sizes, but the gameplay within the borders felt like Java. It is important to note that Bedrock Edition is coded in C++ instead of Java, which would explain minimal changes. But when Bedrock released, it offered some exclusive features. For example, snow making leaves white for some apparent reason. I mean, it makes sense, but why not have it in the Java edition of the game? For some reason, the crafting recipe for a simple boat requires a shovel. Horse armor is craftable. Colored cauldrons. There is a bit of these exclusive features, but why?
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
If you're creating a different edition of the game, wouldn't you want to be the same and equal as other editions you've made? Is it desperation at a point where you have to come up with exclusive features for people to feel as if this version was superior? Have you ever seen a game which is out on few platforms, willing to add exclusive features just to one edition of the game? Like, can you imagine games like GTA coming up with exclusive cars just for PlayStation players? Obviously Minecraft is going to get away with it, since it's one of the most popular games in the world. But I just can't think of any other game which would do such a thing. Bedrock Edition versus Legacy Edition. From my perspective, in order to create Bedrock, it seemed to have sacrificed many things from the Legacy Editions. The graphics in a sense look quite weird to me, and it just doesn't feel quite polished to me. But Bedrock Edition is also awesome in many other ways. Infinite worlds which blew off the console gamers' minds at the time. The average performance in terms of frames per second were extremely high and smooth, and being capable of rendering so many chunks was just insane to me. But something the game has sacrificed was its care. When I played the legacy editions of the game, in my case the PS3 edition, it felt like a very well made game. I have never once experienced an annoying glitch throughout my few years of playing it, and many people reported problems with Bedrock Edition, and still are till this day. Bedrock Edition, more like Early Access Edition. Bedrock to me doesn't feel like a completed game. Amongst the community, it is known as a buggy mess. I remember when I recorded myself playing Bedrock around a year ago, I died in a glitch as I jumped into the end portal. I played Bedrock for 30 minutes just to experiment with different features, and I ran into a glitch which killed me. Something I got to say, the Wither is very difficult to beat inside of Bedrock, but I just don't believe it makes it up for this buggy mess. The pink texture glitch. Multiple issues players often run into whenever they choose a custom skin, such as the texture completely disappearing or changing back to Steve. Hundreds of different issues players ran into when it came to the GUI of the game. The game completely losing all of its textures after very long playtimes for thousands of players. I can go on for even longer, but the game is comparable to Cyberpunk 2077. I understand that these glitches may not occur to everyone, but yet Bedrock Edition receives such high reports constantly. I believe Bedrock is a good idea, but it's just too big of a task to handle. Imagine having to supervise how your game runs on every single device. Let's compare the way Minecraft Java releases its updates alongside Bedrock. This is the entire list of changes. That is just too much to handle. The game's engine just keeps on running into new issues every time. Once they bring out a new patch, it's like a butterfly effect. The patch causes more bugs to occur, then when they bring out another patch, it does the same, and the cycle repeats itself over and over again. I believe Bedrock is completely mismanaged in terms of its production, inferior to the legacy editions. I believe that in terms of the overall gaming experience, it's seen as way more positive when it comes to the legacy editions of the game, which actually felt like a finished product. It still annoys me that this is how your characters run in Bedrock. You spent all of your time creating emotes. Why not invest some time into a better running animation? It sounds out of this world that you pay full price to play this dumpster. A dumpster from my view, obviously. You may like this and that's all fine. I'm getting a little bit biased here. I understand to make sure that Bedrock Edition can be cross-platform, it has to have a tweak to the entire method the engine works. But taking away Legacy Edition was cruel. If you enjoyed the experience of Bedrock Edition, that is no problem. As long as you're having fun playing Minecraft, it shouldn't be much of an issue. But something which is a very big issue is people buying the Legacy Editions because they felt like a finished, polished product. And then it was just replaced by this dumpster. Why would you do that? Why couldn't you make it a choice to the players whether they want to play Legacy Edition or Bedrock? You took away our gold and replaced it with a buggy mess. Better to get on my ass. The last thing I'm going to mention is the marketplace. I did want to rant about it at the beginning of the video because it's a typical Java player thing to do, but the marketplace just disappoints me. Having to pay for maps and mods is just outrageous to me. I know Bedrock also can have mods imported into it, but that still doesn't change the fact. A lot of younger players are going to buy maps and mods from the workshop instead of looking for free alternatives. To sum this up, I believe Bedrock has a lot of potential. It's actually quite desperate how much they want to monetize all of Bedrock, not only with the marketplace, but also the way they add new features to this. You know, they just try to make Bedrock look so good. To me, those are just signs of capitalism, which I love, which I respect. But this is just my view on it. Bedrock is good in its own way and may appeal more than Java Edition to some people, which is fine. We're all humans, we're all a bit different. But it is a fact that the game is a buggy mess, and it is too difficult to inspect every single update on how it impacts all of the devices it is on. Even when I was recording the gameplay which was playing in the background of the video, there are moments which seem as if I joined a Minecraft server on McDonald's Wi-Fi. In the first few seconds when I was fisting down a tree casual style, some of the textures were just glitching for me, or just completely not present. I also experienced delay when I was cutting down sugarcane. That experience of Minecraft Bedrock seemed as if I joined a laggy server. This is where my rant comes to an end. If you enjoyed it, I have a few videos up on this channel, so please give it a try. Please watch them. My channel's pretty new. It's only like a month old. A month and a little bit old. So please subscribe. Goodbye, guys. I'm scared to go into the comment section of this video. One thing I'll never understand. Why does the hand have to look like this? As if my character was anorexic or something.
Baba Bowie.